Of course, detective. Swift justice. Don't worry, we don't have to investigate every trace of...
Yeah, swift lightning.
See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
It's the letter you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip. Then... Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous... The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. What are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial harbor. They are bound to have information for us. I thought that was our intention. Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again.
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide? Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up here. You could have died there. Shit, 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 shit. I'm failing you. This wasn't part of our deal.
I got you, Bertan. Let me just adjust your breathing a little bit. There, isn't that better?
Hey, what's happening? You okay? It's okay. You're just having a little panic attack. Try to breathe as slowly as you can, alright?
The necktie lets go a little. Its vicious grip easing around your neck.
Good. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's just a cloak after all.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that. The ammonia only makes it worse. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Are you okay, officer?
The weight is reassuring, like a krenel.
You're facing tough odds here. It's aggravated further by alcohol withdrawal. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, bag it. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there, if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. I think I've lost my sense of smell.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad, right? Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
I can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago. Well, this might be the last snow we get. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
Nitrogen and sulfur mostly. And whatever factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess.
All you can see is the fact that her skin is a different color from yours. That's literally all. You're gonna have to run with that.
What does that mean? I don't know. Whatever's on the radio, I guess. What does this have to do with snow or gardening in March?
She seems more perplexed than cornered.
We should probably proceed with our business in Martinez. Unless you have more official questions?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? Ah, man, me and narcotics go way back. Has some, but those days are behind me. There are other addictions.
Just be straight with him.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to look.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are...
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. cause gives the workers strength, gives them power. We have a right to... Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were. We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open, and try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer, or whatever he is. Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now. If you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cans.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling. He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling it. Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil.
Yes, yes.
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealing's usually a little... His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right?
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealing himself...
Guess so.
A lorry stuck in the windows are clear. They've been recently... You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes the name Sealing is embroidered...
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customer... You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! What? No. I can't believe you said that. You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions.
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All revolution.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Seaguy, Apricot Suzerainty, it's all the same to me. It's all cool. I'm interested in sales. Go ahead, let's make one. Super high quality, friendly prices. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin... Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool! You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry driver. I am just...
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder, and he's an...
Realizing he can't get out of it.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy.
And what?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to...
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is...
It could be. She was strange.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective. Both of you. You deserve it.
Volumetric ship compressor.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Oh, okay.
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you.
An investment? What kind of investment? Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth? 10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see until you came along, that is. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Lawman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt.
Someone was. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an... This man's got a hold over her, even 50 years.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference that they're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero.
The Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his...
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
So the Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him. The most beautiful. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can be tied down by men.
What if to truly love a Boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to us.
So he doesn't think...
You hear that, Lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communers around. Melanathos land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain, the Transcatlia Magistral, U4-1A, Adestradas do Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly. You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously.
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say? Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. Of course you don't. Now what do you want with an old woman's boot, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots, made of black.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was...
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened 500 years ago.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. A size is 37.
The feet of a little girl. They fit well on the pedals. Did you just call me a lady?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Sheriff. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul. I'm only terrifying to small children.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? When I have my movie? Oh, Sim. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? I don't want to talk about that. I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. A youngish woman. Gruff, but...
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this.
I don't believe you. I just can't, man. I'm not naive. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over.
She shared this with...
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Imagine it. An explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
Thank you, friend. Wow. This makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut and the wiring has been redone. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. This is you. Gold and orange. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. It's the Harman Welshie W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man with...
Oh, that's the headless phone rider. There's been a lot of interest in that particular figurine.
He doesn't elaborate on these wrong hand.
I've heard about it. I've heard the headless phone rider rides a headless bull.
Yes, there are several competing versions of the story, but I believe this figurine is the headless phone rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny...
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them...
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either set very much, to be honest. But there are many parents among...
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find...
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flint...
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago. Yes. Buy something nice. A fig...
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothes, and especially that tie. It's swallowed.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparking in the light of the projector!
Another time, perhaps. Hello again. How can I help you?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting.
Prolodon is just something since I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too. We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fight. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why so much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. No one's. Everyone's.
So much.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, so I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but... I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God, the lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
You weren't quiet. Yourself, you were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life, and when I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it. It certainly does, especially in Revachol. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. Truth be told...
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with...
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dance. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
We should have a look at that belt before we even consider taking him down. It looks worrisome.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel, fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost for a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 rial, unadjusted for rank.
Not too much, yes.
The lieutenant nods, wiping his finger on his sleeve. A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the...
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into small, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections. Peaking, the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100, 1000.
Good. Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and sin.
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just his. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford. The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know. No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under...
Nice. That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the besmirties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
That's for us to find out. Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just been...
No, your first instinct was correct. This equipment is way beyond what a security guard can afford.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered in tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of faded... His corpse is marked by stars. Alcohol and heartbreak.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought...
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears.
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices. Primarily...
Shit, Kuno! What?
An instant color camera.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Sure, just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable. The corpse is dead silent.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench, eyes like a shark. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing? Then you should ask me the first moment we get.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have...
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with...
So, what do you think? I agree.
There are crow's feet in his eyes. He's laughing silently. His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead. That sounds about right, yes. Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first. I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our...
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you. decomposing. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is mocked. The fish lips stay silent in response. You must be losing your mind, asking him that.
I told you, he is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The hangman's knot is pulled. This
airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for the local harbor. The brief suggested as much. Politically motivated by the... Then you should ask me the first moment.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of under...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue. The material delicate. These are clearly not boots. They're armor. The cadaver slowly... The hangman... This is a steel...
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. No, you're right. The harbor uses 6 rutters to shuffle containers around.
The cadaver hangs from the... An intricate web of blue lines stretches his dark brown hair. The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from...
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's...
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Someone else? You mean like the police? Someone already did. You know who came? We did. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast. Climb up there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a danger.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda. But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there...
Yeah, now we're talking.
Don't miss! The pig's whip.
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea. Silence. With his and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzle-loader, ascetic. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger. Is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements.
God damn it.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes, mostly. Just having bad...
Fucking idiot!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do it. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs. Kuno...
Yeah, take it, you fucking banani boyka. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your finger...
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your...
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what...
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directing the gun.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
I agree. Enough gunslinging for today. I suggest we go to the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to help us with the body.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service. The crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside
57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Yes? What do you want to know? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not...
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the industrial harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist. I bet you do. If you could only find your gun. Was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? If not, yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
What do you want to know? Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. As you know, there was considerable interest in this case at my station, but probably not for the reasons you have in mind. Excellent. Was there anything else? Good.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
I've considered it. It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win. I am the finest of nothing. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working, so no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? What do you mean? I have no idea what you're...
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material, but this isn't an old school case.
What? Think? I do...
The lieutenant produces his small... That's where his conversation... We all have our different need. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
No.
The lieutenant nods.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this. But you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are more...
You could use a good, normal peer yourself.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interest. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière. Good. Let's change the subject.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 100... Like what? I was rarely enjoying...
Hello again, sweetie. I see you've met up with your colleague.
The lieutenant wait. Who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin. But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and too married besides.
In another time and place, she might have flirted back.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Whatever do you mean? Sequence killers? Oh my. But
a partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
it seems to me that you lucked out with your partner. He has the look of an upstanding officer of the law. Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants smokes. The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives. He doesn't like where this is going. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man. From the right, it still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but gone. For you to discover, you've got to. Someone close to the victim might know. Someone who knows about history could tell you. It's the ledger you found in the trash, a cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Ham Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of me. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to all. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Valhul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around.
Show him the ham still got it. Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Jerking motions, signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Kroikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the hub. This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of it. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, the walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the oaths to homosexuality you call art.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshached's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel. You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry. It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Hul. From what remain of your features, this leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal. An offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur-la-Clé and Vesper, and possibly even the degen. Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Revacholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce. What?
He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on unless you're both drunk. It's too scary when people are sober. He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic.
He had nothing to do with it.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront Polycule also. To serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. What you need is to come to terms with extinction and never getting that dead body down from the tree.
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist...
That will be the...
There always is.
Race is reality.
We still need to get into...
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss. I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let up!
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you?
No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out people.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you fail.
What's it to you? Big mess, caused by Union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
The man has turned his attention elsewhere. He shakes his fist slowly.
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together,
This beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the...
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
We were promised work. We'd be in.
The physically impressive man tower has turned his attention back to the gates. He ignores your presence.
honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful.
We came here to help the Hob.
I have a question.
You think they follow because I'm big? What's it to you?
No, don't think we've met before.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? We're done here. I have a strike to break.
to work! Shame on you! Things are busy enough. You're going to waste less of my time?
The Hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorry.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Evashel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is looks like the lieutenant has a plan.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be still...
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at...
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorryman and Carter's Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing.
When did she go?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he's safe.
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now,
a small temple by the monument. Green.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too. This screen found, A to Z, Contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the roof.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like there's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a risk. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This screen found, A to Z, Contemporaire, is with a firm grip you raise the pry bar, a glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, Lorry Cabin. The window shatters, and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dash. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here. A hammer, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna. The smell of 1,000 cigarettes. Some dead metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain
the Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out tool slides back into it. It blows the rust.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather... I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can...
This means it's well-funded. Technology like that.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Everard Clare would be... My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we're done here. We do not want to get caught. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
As elegant...
Don't be fooled. Desire all...
I'm going to say no. Debrief over.
Kuno care? You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't...
He can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to...
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just got a fly, pig. Kuno knows. Kuno and C saw you shit yourself. It's okay, pig. Not everyone can face the fear, Kuno.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that. Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it. Yet, that conclusively explains how the coke got up there.
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a bottle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's going to use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed...
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're going to OD and you're going to fucking die.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking...
Fuck your shit back to normal.
Well played. No one saw that coming.
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with... Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it? Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Where's the fucking shit? Make you stupid.
Has Kuno been to some kind of school? Probably a school for children with behavioral difficulties. How is that better? At least...
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mute. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno, you wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cock in boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows.
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretend...
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels so...
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
You're testing Kuno's patience.
Get lost!
Kuno...
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is...
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that...
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed.
He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Good luck trying to use it.
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. Not until you bring me them.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the
transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny...
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps...
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son, and high. That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
As I said, they are useless anyway. I should have...
But thank you. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure thing. Sure, man.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and...
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them?
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest is for him. To compensate for the windfall is a small...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Oh, no. I don't like those aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Sell me something lighter.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but...
Another time, perhaps.